What's up, gang? Mark and Wes from Renegade Supply Company here, and we just wanted to drop in real quick and talk to you guys a little bit about the design inspiration behind some of our spring launch.
Yeah, we're super excited. You know, we talked about how this line was definitely next level. We feel like for the past year of really just trying to dial in on this thing and our message and the intent behind it. And yeah, we think this line definitely brought out a lot of great points, a lot of great life elements that you start applying these designs and the meanings behind them to your life and watch what grows and watch what comes from it. So.
Yeah, really trying to put out a powerful message and not just give you some cool apparel, but give you some cool apparel with a message to live by on it. And we really think that we're starting to dial it in. And like Wes said, in the last year since we've really started working together and collabing, we feel like we're really starting to zone in on what it is that we're trying to do. And we think that this spring line is the pinnacle so far. And so yeah, let's dive in. So one of the OG designs that had to make a comeback was the Chief. And we reintroduced the Chief on a new colorway. The Chief is the original design. It was the one that when I decided that I was going to create this brand, that I was going to launch this line of motivational apparel, the Chief was the very first design. And for me, that Indian skull was just it was such a hard graphic.
Dude,
it went so hard. And to me, the Native folks represent such a level of resiliency. And resiliency is something that's behind of this message. So, it is sort of an ode to the Native people of our country. And the Chief goes really, really hard. Just the word renegade in the headdress, and then the message underneath, which I carry on my forearm, which isn't on any other shirt. And it's the only other verbiage on the Chief shirt. But it's a Latin message, which means if I can't find a way, I'll make one. So when we started talking about reintroducing designs, we had to bring back that OG Chief. We've done him in 3 or 4 different ways already, and you're probably just gonna keep seeing him reintroduced in new ways, hopefully.
Dude, I love that design, and it was really cool to just take that design and put it in a new element, a new color work, and I think it really sticks out from the shirt. And I love the message behind it too, because both of us come from difficult situations, and just to be reminded that, hey, no matter where you come from, if you are hungry enough for it, you are going to find a way. No matter how many times you fail, keep getting back up.
If I can't find a way, I'm going to make one. If I can't figure it out here, then I'll figure it out somewhere else. And so that's sort of always been the message behind the Chief. It's always been a message behind the brand. It's always been something that I've used to sort of keep me motivated and to keep me striving to be more. If I can't figure it out now, I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, so the next design we wanted to kind of talk to you guys about is the Bet on Yourself design. This design goes hard. It's definitely, it's hard to pick a favorite, but I think just the traditional black and white that we threw it on, and then just the message behind it. I think it's easy in life. Again, no matter where you're at, if you will just bet on yourself and just believe in yourself for once, just watch what starts happening. And that's personally for me. When I've had moments of doubting myself, I just took a step back and really just said, hey, you know what, like just trust yourself, believe in yourself for once, and watch what happens. And that's just been kind of the story of my life ever since doing that. And it's been awesome to see that design now be on a shirt, and that design hits, man. I love that design.
The design itself is really cool because we brought in, the play on words, the betting, clearly you're not gambling. You kind of are gambling whenever you take a chance, it is a gamble. Entrepreneurship's a gamble. Any of these adventures that we're trying to get you to go on can be a gamble. So we wanted to kind of bring in that playing card element. Yep. So we brought in the really cool graphic with the king. It looks like a king playing card. We incorporated the playing suits on the back into our logo. And I thought that went really sick. But the message, man, the message, and it's one of the things that we preach all the time, is that nothing's gonna change unless you do. Your actions, your words, the way that you carry yourself, the things that you do, nothing's gonna change in your life unless you make those changes. And if you will just take a chance on yourself, roll those dice, bet on yourself, as the t-shirt says, and then stay hungry and get to work, I think that you'd really be surprised at the levels of progress that you could make in whatever it is that you're striving for, whether it be, a diet, whether it be a new career, whether it be in education or learning a new skill, all of those things. If you really commit some time and some effort to it, invest in yourself into it, then I think that's the answer. That's the answer. I don't care what the question is. That's the answer. So like Wes said a second ago, it's hard to say which of these designs is our favorite. But definitely the Man in the Arena shirt is one of my favorites. And again, it's impossible. It's impossible to say which one we enjoy the most. But you know, being a former history guy, we brought in an element of the ancient Roman Empire, which means something to you being an Italian, and you know, and me being a history guy, we brought in this element of like of the Colosseum, of the gladiators, of the, you know, of the men of a different time. And then the quote on the back from Teddy Roosevelt talking about being the man in the arena. Everyone wants to criticize. And if you're not familiar, definitely go look at the listing for this shirt. Google "Man in the Arena" quote by Teddy Roosevelt. It goes so hard.
Change your life.
When Wes first introduced the idea of the "Man in the Arena" on a T-shirt, we thought that it was maybe a little wordy to go on a T-shirt, but I couldn't pick a section out of it to shorten the quote, so we ended up having to go with the whole thing because it does really hit home.
Yeah, it does. Like you said, it's hard to pick a favorite, but I guess this one, I think overall, like the meaning behind it, but then too, I think the print work on it, you know, and that's something that, you know, the more I'm involved, like I love seeing and learning that part of the process. But I love we did a lot of black on black, you know, and I think just getting those like reflective colors with the color of the helmet and the verbiage on the back, just that kind of mint teal color with the black on black. I'm super excited. Again, I love the man. You summed it all up perfectly. But again, I think the color of it too is what really sticks out, and the process that we went through. I feel like it was something that hasn't been done before, and we executed very well.
It was definitely something that we had not tried before. Printing black on pretty much a black shirt. You know, I mean, it's essentially a black shirt. It's the way that the eye catches it, you know. It's not like bold in your face as far as graphics. Like, you know, most of the time you try to print something with like stark contrast that really jumps off. But I wanted it to be something that was a little bit more subtle, and it was sort of a learning process, something we'd never done before. So that was fun and exciting.
That was awesome, man.
And honestly, I'm looking forward to doing more, you know, different prints, different print areas, things that are a little bit more unconventional. Maybe we just opened up a whole Pandora's box of like ideas. So, but yeah, the Man in the Arena. Go check out the quote and snatch that shirt up and put it on your back, because she go hard.
The next shirt we're going to talk about, the design, is find your peace in the storms, even in the storms. And you know, that again, like, these are personal elements. These designs came from a very personal, you know, part in our life, whether things that we've been through or things that we're currently experiencing. And that shirt really hit home, because I think, you know, life, we're all trying to navigate through life, and I think we get hit with this chaos, and there's different storms of different categories that we're just trying to learn and navigate our way through. And one thing that I think has helped me personally, and I know Mark, and what we've kind of helped each other understand in our lives, regardless of what's going on, just take a step back and try to find the silver lining, try to find your peace, and just tone out the noise and just focus on the task at hand, and just focus on your life and the steps that you can do to keep growing, and again, just finding peace in who you are, regardless of the chaos around you.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that's the most difficult for humans is that when you experience those hardships, it's easy to let them just like completely derail you. And I think that that's sort of like one of the back messages of the Find Your Peace Even in the Storms is like, you know, no one gets out of this without challenges. You know, part of life is challenges, I think, you know, and how you approach those challenges and how you overcome those challenges. And so I think it's important to realize that no matter what happens to you, no matter how bad it may seem, it's not that bad. Human nature is to over exaggerate things and make things seem worse than they really are. And at the end of the day, no matter how bad it is, if you're still here, it's not that bad. And so you have to be able to figure out a way to navigate through those storms, because it could get rocky, it could get, it could get difficult, and it likely will. And you have to be able to push through, find some peace, because the peace is actually what's going to carry you to the other side. And for me personally, I feel like the quicker I can get to a peaceful place about a situation, the quicker that situation becomes better.
Yeah, it becomes easier to kind of navigate. You know? Yeah. But yeah, so make sure, again, this shirt is awesome. We kind of got like a traditional tattoo vibe with it too. I really love the colors of it. So again, for those who love like the kind of tattoo look on the front of the shirt, it's definitely a solid design for you to check out.
Amen. Okay, so the last shirt in the spring collection that we'll be talking about today is our Today Over Yesterday shirt. And this is one of the things that I've been trying to implement into my life, and that I tell people every time that anybody comes to me for any sort of advice, or I'm talking to people about this element, these things in my life that are pushing the brand and that I'm trying to do to make me a better person. It's to be better than you were yesterday. Today over yesterday. See, like we just talked about the piece in the Storm shirt, bad things are going to happen, and the bad things have to stay in the day in which they occurred. Don't bring those things along with you and let them ruin days or weeks or months or even years, which I think a lot of people are bad to do. Yeah. You have to put the things that have happened yesterday in the past, and those things could also be shortcomings on your behalf. You know, we're not perfect by any means. No one's perfect. And so every day you should just strive to do a little bit better. I always say 0.1% better than you were yesterday. And if you stack all that 0.1% improvement up, it really makes a lot of difference over time.
Absolutely. And again, like all these designs, the core of what we believe in is just being better. You know, every single day. It doesn't mean you got $5 in your bank account today and you're a billionaire tomorrow. Like, these things take time. But if you will apply these things to your life and every single day, find a way to take a step forward, to focus on, hey, if I'm a little bit better today than yesterday, then, you know, imagine if you do that for 6 months, imagine if you do that for a year. So yeah, this design hits home. I love just like the simplicity of it too. I think it's very user friendly, so to speak, and it's for everybody. Yeah. And again, like if you'll just focus on, you know, the task at hand today, like I said earlier, you know, then you'd be surprised of what your life can become and how far you can come in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, when we look at ourselves or when we look at outside things, I think that some of us have a lot of work to do, you know, myself included a few months ago. And myself, you know, I'll throw myself in that ring now. You know, I still have a lot of work to do. And I think that it can be overwhelming to think about like all the things that you need to improve on, or all the things that you need to get done. And I think that this, if you can see it as like little incremental changes, you don't have to change it all today, but you should start chipping away at it. Yep. You know, think about it as like as building a sculpture out of rock, and you've got this plain rock face. You're not gonna make a difference in a hurry, but if you keep chipping away steadily, gradually, you make a big difference over time. And I think that that's the key.
Absolutely. Well, listen, guys, we just want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, check out renegadesupply.co. You can see all our apparel there. And again, thank you so much for being along for this journey. You know, we just want to continue to spread our message of motivation and hope to you guys. You know, it doesn't matter where you're at in life. If you'll just focus and put in the work, I promise your life will get better.
Yep. It's all about consistency. It's all about believing in yourself. And, you know, honestly, if you don't believe in yourself, I think that that's human nature too. But feel free to reach out to us, and hopefully we can give you some inspirational words that maybe will light your fire, put a little belief in your back pocket, and maybe set you on your way.